to the Sports Mom Playbook.
Welcome to the Sports Mom Playbook, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes with real moms and industry experts for all things sports to help you start or make more use of your time on and off the field.
Get ready for this binge-worthy podcast with some special guest appearances. Laugh along and join us in what we love doing, celebrating the true MVPs of the game, moms.
Let's do this. Hi guys, and welcome back to our new episode of the Sports Mom Playbook. This episode is going to be talking about the do's and the don'ts of what parents should do and kids should not be doing when you're getting recruited for college or just overall hanging out on the fields.
Absolutely.
Because this one, we see this, I feel like we talk about this a lot.
Right.
But I think that, we have to highlight it because there's more stories that we get in from parents and just from coaches. And we're just like, wow, this stuff is really happening.
Right. But I think the biggest thing is people forget that you are always being watched. And it's not to sound creepy, but
that sounds super creepy.
9 times out of 10, it is very important. Like, they're not just recruiting the athlete. And this is like any grade level, right? And this is grade level, college. I think we've made it very clear that they do watch you, but they're not just recruiting your child as an athlete. They're also recruiting you as a family. And what that entails is sometimes good or bad.
Yeah.
And some parents have such a very poor reputation with behavior and the things that they do. So we're going to kind of go over.
Or even the player having like losing their mind on the field type of thing or in the middle of a game towards an umpire.
Yeah. So we're going to go over some like do's and don'ts, some things that we've had people write in.
Yeah.
That are scouts and they're like, this is an absolute.
This is like a hard no.
No, like we are not even going to come and see you.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But when you listen to the list of what this coach wrote in, it's like shocking. And you're like, I cannot believe that they acted like that. Like it's mind-boggling.
I also have to be really honest because there's one thing on this list and I'm like, shit.
You do it?
My kid doesn't.
Stop. All right, let's get into the list now that we're talking about it.
I'm going to put it out there because, not everyone's perfect.
They're guilty for.
No, I will. It's not like terrible, but I'm just like, I read it and I was like, oh.
Like, ew, cringe. I didn't
what a
realize
time
how
to
bad
reflect.
it was.
we have time. Like, we're not at that like.
But you got to nip it in the butt.
I know,
but young.
I know, but still I'm like.
But they're still, no.
Okay,
all right.
It's all right.
So you read the first point.
Okay, so the biggest thing that they say is, and one thing that makes them automatically walk away from games is parents screaming from the sidelines at umpires and children on the field, including their own child. Doesn't have to necessarily be just their child. It could be another child.
Yeah, they're just
on the
screaming.
Screaming.
Are they like micro coaching probably? Do you think that's like what she's talking about?
No, but she's talking about umpires too. I've heard some people, I have nothing against umpires. I just want to like put that out there. I think that is such a hard job.
It is hard.
In any form. Whether you are like doing little league, whether you are
it depends on how competitive
a
the
ref
league
for
is.
like the NFL. Like I don't care what you were doing. I would not. It's just one of those things. I don't want to do that because you guys are
would
so
not be submitting
mean.
your resume.
You guys are. I can't like some of the things that people say. I remember one time we had just started out and it was like our first big tournament, and I almost was like I was like, should I make this into a T-shirt or cry? Like I didn't know where to go with it.
From a parent.
So we were
okay.
We were
you have
losing.
to tell us.
We
like,
were
what
losing.
Happened? Okay.
And the this. In my opinion, and after we replayed the tape on Game Changer, this child was 100. My son plays catcher.
Yeah.
Was 100% out at home.
Yeah.
It wasn't even
questionable.
It was like,
Yeah.
And he called him safe. And it was kind of an important part of the game because at this point we're now tied. So now they were up 1 run.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the moms on our team at the time was like, do you want my eye doctor? You need to get your eyesight checked. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, oh.
And so insulting him.
Poor
guy.
And she didn't just say like once or twice. Like at one point he turned around and was like, this is your last warning.
Oh, damn.
Either stop or you will be removed.
See, that's embarrassing.
And so I'm like sitting there. I mean, obviously I thought it was funny because
yeah, you knew where it was coming from.
I know the person, and like she's literally the nicest mom.
But listen, then, when you got those competitive parents,
let me tell you something.
Like,
there's some people you get out there and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, like
hello, they're children.
Like, damn. You know? And like she was like, do you want my I was so taken back.
Yeah.
But I'm like, those are the parents that that's what they're writing about.
Okay. That's a perfect example, because I'm sure that's exactly what this lady witnessed with her eyes, and she's like, no, I cannot.
I remember, I think I even at the time was like, this could be a t-shirt, or you know what I'm saying?
Like a hashtag, do you need my eye doctor?
You know, it's hard.
Yeah. No, it's hard. I mean,
and I think everyone's
so awkward.
Listen, there's always going to be bad calls. That's just a fact.
It's hard to, like, when you're in that game though, like, you know that feeling. Like, you're in that game and the kids are like really like playing their best. It's a heated game. It's like one-on-one, and then you're like towards the end and they make that one bad call.
Yeah.
It is like, what? Like, no. Like,
I get it.
It's hard for a parent, and even the kids. The kids get just as frustrated. And I know my son one time has whipped out, his middle finger, and I'm like, you put that finger back, So it's rough.
It's rough. So so that was her first one.
So let's go on to the second. All right. Kids leaving the dugout, running to their parents during the game and talking about coaches' decisions, umpires, and asking for special treatment and snacks during the game from their parents. This might sound harsh, but I don't want a kid who runs to their mommy and complains about everything that needs to be coddled during the game. Damn. Guilty? Is that the one you're guilty for? For which part? There's so much
just
of it.
The snacks. You know my kid.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gray's always hungry.
Just the snacks. That's it. He doesn't ever say anything else. But it's just the snacks. So he'll like come out, and it's only really when they have
multiple games,
3 games,
and he's like hungry or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working up a sweat.
And he'll be like, Mom, so hungry.
Starving.
I'm starving. I'm not going to make it. So he will run out and get snacks.
Yeah.
But the other part of that with the coddling or them talking about the coach's decision, that's different.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever witnessed that, but I can see why that would piss someone off. Like, could you imagine you're recruiting for college? These kids are supposed to be like adults at that point.
Right.
And you have them like, Mommy, I don't like what they made me do. Like could you imagine?
No.
I would have been mortified.
No, but I've also never seen someone do that. So like when I'm reading this, this is obviously their perspective. They're the scout, but I've never seen that. The snacks I've seen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially the little kiddos.
Our kids are younger.
Yeah. Or even the older girls, like, they're like, Mom, can you give me some, like, Sour Patch Kids, or give me, like, those, like, funky snacks that they like, Yeah. They love all that stuff.
But I've never seen the other part of this, which I think is why. I can't even.
I can't fathom that. I mean, I can understand, like, if a parent or a kid was, like, frustrated with an ump making a bad call and be like, Mom, he was out. Like, like, I can maybe see that, but like to be like disrespectful, like also, I don't know.
Is it okay? There's been times where I've seen my kid like injured on the field and he's crying.
Yeah.
And I want to walk up.
Yeah.
And I get
he's fine. Let him be.
Yeah. And
I know. From your husband. And like, don't baby him.
Pat's done it. He's like, don't even look at him.
I know. Patrick's the worst. I love you, baby. But like he's rough. Yeah.
And that's, so for me, and they're younger, so it's probably a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I think even if he was older and he was like laid out on the field,
I would be clenching cheeks.
I would be dying. Yeah. Like, remember that, I'll never forget it. It was like a UCF game. The one quarterback, remember his whole leg, like,
oof.
Do you, what's his name?
There.
Okay.
We'll have to find out.
I think he's Hawaiian.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
But it was like not last year, the year before. He was pretty popular. I'm having a total mind blank on his name.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. I'm going to get it together. And he was literally laid out on the field. They have like all these like medical people, like the golf carts, when they like wheeling the golf cart out, it's bad. And they literally zoom in on the mom.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Why? It's for the
theatrics. Would you do? But that is like so disrespectful.
Oh my God. And I bet she was like mortified.
Oh,
hysterical.
Oh, I mean, her face is like white.
Oh, that's so sad.
And he ended up going through like all these like major surgeries just to be able to walk again. Like he had like a very serious injury.
Yeah.
I don't get
That's
that.
terrifying.
I'm like, you know? Yes.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah.
Mackenzie Milton.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing him late. And that to me, I like when they zoomed in on that mom, I was like pissed. I'm like, that is so disrespectful.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Poor kid. And I don't know. I don't get that part of it.
That's very severe and obviously very scary. But like just because your kid didn't like what a call did, or like the coach put me out on the outfield, and you're pissed because you want to be like third base, shut up. Like just go. You're fine. You will survive. You know, you will survive.
So bad. I think this one's a good one. Well, I'm gonna skip 3 because we already like that's like she brought up umpires again, and we all know
giving them dirty looks.
Do you know? Stuff. Actually, I don't know if everyone knows this. Do you know if you assault an umpire, you can go to jail?
I mean, if you assault anybody, you can go to jail.
No, but it's like a different jail time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that. Wow.
They're like fully protected.
Wow.
Like even if it's a level of harassment, like if they leave the field and then you follow them out.
That I heard of. With bats. I've heard them following umpires with bats. Yeah.
That to me is like so bizarre.
And other parents with bats. I mean, this happened in a local rec team or area.
Stop.
100%.
Yeah. So I know that they have some form of protection.
Yeah.
I
didn't know that,
I
though.
know, I love how you're like, if you assault anyone, you go
like, duh.
But it's right. What's the Florida law is very different in, the protection that they have.
Oh, yeah. I can believe
but
that.
I think it's verbal.
Physical.
Sure. Obviously.
Yeah.
Chris, do you know what it says?
For charges against an
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know, like...
Our handy-dandy producer comes in clutch when we need him.
I know.
Chris.
I just want to make sure it's, like, actual...
Rachel's making up facts over here.
So, result in a fine that does not exceed more than $2,000 or imprisonment with the sentence not exceeding 1 year.
Damn, 1 year.
1 year. 1 year and a $2,000 fine.
Dead.
Up to a $2,000 fine.
Wow. Yeah, it's rough.
So that's all the parents out there. If you're like about to lose it, just walk away.
Walk away. Let them. Let them.
So, but number 4, she says the inability to recover after a strikeout, hard inning, or call that they didn't agree with.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that.
That's
like
hard.
When a kid has a meltdown because they like played bad. And I think even Margot, I think she mentioned that too. Like they're watching like how you recover, because that just shows so much about you as a person and how mature you are and your character. I mean, are you going to have like a straight up tantrum because you're like, I don't like that they called me out, or like, man, like she didn't know how to throw the ball right, or whatever the situation is. Like I can see that being like a huge thing.
But they also talk too about the dugout.
Yeah.
Like if you walk in after a strikeout and you just are like throwing your helmet and are just basically like a mini Hulk, nobody wants to deal with that.
No one wants to deal with that. No, absolutely not.
But I feel that is sometimes that's just something that needs to be like tweaked, because depending on your age, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I can, like, or you're saying like the little kids like act like, man,
yeah,
I'm
I feel
so
like up to a
upset,
certain
or they
age,
cry.
I would, if I were to see that, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, how old is this individual, this athlete?
Yeah. Could you imagine like an 18-year-old like having a straight up meltdown?
I can't imagine an 8-year-old doing that. I'm sure it probably happens.
It does. I'm sure they get upset either with themselves, or they just like don't know how to overcome that.
Right.
You know?
But I feel like maybe that's something that just they learn to cope with as they get older, and how to, you know, performance coach wise, or.
Yeah. You need to go listen to our episode with Ellen. She'll give you all of the mantras and like the way to like overcome that, because that it's real. People, as the older they get, right, you kind of identify as an athlete, like your success as how good you are playing. So I'm sure that kind of stems from that. So that episode has a lot of good stuff on that to help with that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's all I have for that, because I'm like, I feel like at a certain age they grow out of it.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not truthful, because that is on the list of what they see.
For college recruits, yeah. I mean, these kids are like, what, 19 years old?
I can't even think about our kids going to college. I'm going to have like anxiety.
It's like 10 years, I know. Take it one day at a time, my friend. Let's see. Oh, here's another good one. A lack of hustle. Walking everywhere and talking back to coaches or treating teammates disrespectfully.
Oh, man.
That's crazy. Lack of hustle. Like, I can see that. Like, where you have, like, you're losing. Kids are just, like, frustrated with the calls. And they're just like, I'm not going to put in my effort. Yeah. Or, like, try to turn the situation around, or I'm not going to fight through it. I mean, that right there is, like, ick. You know?
Oh, I agree. But I feel, I mean, I've always heard the word, like, effort, attitude. Like, that is just ingrained.
In an athlete.
Yeah. Because, and they always say that when we see you, we should see you practicing harder than what you're doing on the field, right? Because like all that effort, you know, you should have the effort, but the practice, you should be like working 10 times harder to really hone in on those skills. So that way when it's game time, it's just easy peasy.
Easy peasy. You got
easy
this.
Peasy.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand like if an athlete or a kiddo has like an off day, like they're not feeling well or whatever, like I can see where there might be like a lack of hustle. But when you're being like straight up disrespectful towards your coaches and you're just like saying an F you to your coach or something, like that's a problem.
That is a problem. But I think that these kids also know when like the scouts are going to be there. They're always picking.
Oh yeah.
They're all
well because if you're
either
going
to like a showcase, or in some form, or they're gonna see you go up against a team that they know you're just gonna get demolished because they want to see how you behave.
They want to see how you act.
Right.
Like, are you gonna talk back? Are you gonna just like take it and just like fight through it? That's what they're looking for. And that's what I'm saying. It always comes down when people are not watching. That just is so telling. It is so telling about someone. How you act when people aren't watching. What you do, what you say.
Always.
It's kind of scary.
It is scary, but I think that sometimes athletes are just brought up in an environment where they're always winning and they're always being told how great they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes they want to see what it's like. Like they're looking to see what you're like when you get like fully humbled. Seriously.
It's true.
It's true. Like we saw our boys struggle.
During football. Yes, our sweet boys.
It's hard. I mean, they're used to literally dominating. Yeah. And they were like,
I don't want to do this
anymore. We got in the car and Grayson was like, yeah, I don't really know about. I'm like, we signed up. We're not quitters.
Yeah.
We are going to do better. Yeah. And we are going to go out and do the best we can. Yeah. Like, we're not even having that conversation.
Yeah, no. I agree with you. Like, I 100% agree with you on that. But I feel like when you're humbled as an athlete, starting a new sport, that I can see where a lot of this could be like an issue. Like, as far as like just overall.
Right. But I also think as a parent, it's important to remind your child that there's always going to be someone better than you.
Yeah,
there's always going to be someone out there that like may have more, may have a different level of skill sets that you're not accustomed to, may have a different coach, different trainer. There's always a challenge. So I think it's important that they just keep that like humble mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's important overall, not just on the field, like as a human being. Like you want to be humble and not be like gloating like, oh, I'm so good.
Right. There's a difference between confidence
and cocky as fuck. Like, let's be honest, right? When you're cocky AF and you're just like, you know, oh, like my shit don't stink. And you're like, actually, it smells terrible. Like,
yeah. Those are the bad ones. So then she leaves it off with this. It says, we recruit the family and the athlete. So true. We recruit attitude and effort. We recruit athletes who can recover after failure and push through mistakes. We recruit athletes that keep working hard when things get hard or when a play or call does not go their way. We recruit grit and athleticism mixed with knowledge of the game. Do you want to read the rest?
Yeah. We recruit kids who don't give up and blame others for their circumstances. We recruit kids who run out pop-ups and don't give up on the play. We recruit kids who recover. We recruit kids who lead. We recruit kids who want to compete. If you want to be recruited, be present for every play and every action performed on the field. You never know who's watching in the stands. Like, that is so powerful because it's so true.
It is true, but I feel like it just stems back to you never know who's watching.
You never know who's watching. Like, you never know. You never, and that's with everything.
Yeah.
That's with everything. Y'all just get your shit together.
I know.
Like, just be good humans. It's really not hard.
It kind of is hard.
You think so?
I think it is. I think some people really have like trauma, and I think some people just really struggle with being happy for other people. Not that it's an excuse.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's not an excuse for that type of
you.
behavior, but I do think some people struggle with that. And then kids see it, and it's like a domino effect.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me to wrap my head around that because I would never not be happy for something. Like, I don't know. The way you treat people,
I'm the
like,
same, but I've seen people do it.
Oh, yeah, I know
so
it happens.
I
just don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like if you have a friend that is succeeding in something, like you cheer for them, right? That's a good friend. Like regardless, like even if they're like super uber successful, you cheer for that person. You're happy that they made it there. You're not here hating and talking shit or like,
I agree.
Why? Why do you have to bring people down?
I think it's just like an insecurity thing.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, y'all, it's right here. They're telling you word per word. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Right.
This is what we're looking for. This is what we want.
Right.
I mean, it's really simple. Just be a good person. Love each other. Kumbaya.
Did you really just kumbaya?
I sure. I'll pray for you. Yeah.
Okay. But okay. I love all the things that she has to say. Obviously, we got to work on the snacks, leaving the dugout.
Yeah. I mean, they're still little, but yeah, I totally understand. That is a habit, though.
That is a habit.
You bust out with like, it was funny because there was one team that we were playing on. Speaking of snacks in the dugout, this girl, she was eating her snack and someone threw it away.
Stop. I would be devastated.
She was like, where's my food? Like she would refuse to go on the field. And the coach is like, can someone get this girl a muffin? Like, it was one of those things. And the parents are running to the concession stand to get this girl a muffin. She was refusing to go out on the field. But it's like one of those things. Like,
stop.
Listen, they were still little, but get this girl a muffin. It happens. They're kids.
Yeah.
But when you're at college, like, pack snacks in your bag. I don't know. Get some sunflower seeds. Chew some gum.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You'll survive.
I know. But I just find it very interesting. Like it's that watching and they are not just watching the athlete. They're watching you as a parent as well. And like what you're doing and how you are responding to situations that may be controversial for your child.
It's almost like the incident happens and everyone's like, looking at you. You know what I'm talking about?
But that's why I brought it up. Like when that quarterback was injured for UCF, they literally, it was like on the field and then they're like immediately zooming into the parent.
That's terrible.
And that's like a very extreme situation.
Yeah, but that's still like, that's wild though. Like you want to give that parent privacy, not knowing what's happening to your child. I mean, as a mom, like I would want to go out there. Like your first gut instinct is to protect your child, regardless if it's their feelings are hurt or they're physically hurt, right?
Yeah.
So it's just wild. Listen,
wild.
All eyes are on you, y'all.
They really are.
You gotta look glamorous while you're,
I'll always look homeless.
Stop it. Shut up.
Listen, when it's like an early game time, like 6 a.m., I can't.
Oh no, I'll wake up early. I'll full glam.
I know. You wake up full glam. I'm not a full glam girly. I can't. I enjoy my sleep. I would rather sleep an extra hour.
Yeah, no.
And like go to the field homeless and just rock like a hat and sunglasses.
Like I'll stay up late to paint my nails, knowing I have a tournament the next day just so I like look presentable. That's just how I am. I'm just like a psycho.
I don't think you're a psycho. I need my sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like a literal.
I'll just run to Starbucks. We'll be fine.
I'm a beast if I don't get sleep.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I get a little cranky.
I
love you.
get a little cranky.
Love you just the way you are.
A little cranky.
No, but I mean, all of these things, guys, just simple.
Right.
Be good. Keep it together. Like Rachel says, always keep it locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go crazy.
Yeah. And like personally, if I ever feel like I'm about to like have a disagreement with you see me, I'm up and I'm walking around.
Yeah.
I cannot always sit during the game.
Just walk away. Like don't lose your shit. Don't, just it is what it is. But I mean, I have a feeling this is not gonna be the last time we talk about this.
No.
Because I feel like this is like the third time we've talked about it because it's just like another incident got written in or like another, it's just like gentle reminder every few weeks, guys.
This is.
We're here, your accountability partners, guys.
Yes, that's exactly what we are.
High five.
High five.
Yes.
Love that for us.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining in to this episode. We hope you learned something new. And we appreciate you. So make sure you subscribe and you like and comment. And yeah, we'll look forward to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
And now here is our mom highlight of the week with one of our MVP players. Enjoy.
You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do this. What do you want to be when you get older?
An MLB player.
What is the funny thing that your mom does?
Talks to the cats.
She talks to the cats.
Yeah. Like they're humans.
What is your mom's favorite color?
Red, black, and white.
What's her favorite food to cook?
I don't know.
What's the favorite thing about your mom?
She's funny. Yeah, she's just funny and she likes to play with us.
What is a really important lesson your mom has taught you?
To be kind and never lie and steal and do all that stuff.
What's your favorite snack your mom packs to you for baseball?
Minigrams.
Can you tell me a story about a time your mom was really proud of you?
When I made a really good play at first.
What is something your mom is really good at?
Being kind and just being kind.
Who's your favorite baseball player?
Aaron Judge.
What do you hear your mom yell at you from the stands when you're at a baseball game?
Good job.
What is one thing you wish your mom would do more often?
Not yell at me.
If your mom could be any animal, what would she be and why?
A bulldog because she likes the Georgia Bulldogs.
What is your mom's favorite holiday?
I would say Christmas probably.
And what makes your mom laugh?
Just doing funny stuff.